Hey everybody, this is Jeannie Siskelmeth. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I'm sure that you've been sitting for a while. And so we're going to get up, we're going to move a little bit. Why do you want to move? Because it helps change your state. And so if I need to get more energy, guess what? I got to create that energy from inside of me. And so I want to get up and move. So I'm going to play a song called Life by Hadaway. I do have a music license, so it's okay. I am paying for this. And so, but I want you to just go ahead and get up. Now, if you can't get up and get all crazy, that's okay. But get up and move as much as you can, because as you move, you're going to notice that you're going to start feeling better. And hey, today is all about tools for taming the bully between your ears, because this bully will stop you every single time. And so we're going to move. So get ready. Go ahead and push your chair out of the way, or adjust however you need to. And we're going to listen to Life by Hadaway. And I don't know if I pushed the button to share my music. I didn't. Okay, so here we go. So now we can share. I apologize. Okay, now we're going to listen to Life by Hadaway. doing something new. That's what it's all about, right? So you may be thinking, who is this crazy person and why am I listening to her? Well, let me tell you why. I have a demo video here that I'm going to play right quick, and it'll give you a little bit of information about me, okay?
Jeannie was a young girl. Everyone knew she was different. When she got into school, the labeling began. She had so many learning disabilities and physical differences that she stood out.
Bully-proofing you. This book will teach you how to let no one push you around, especially yourself. Welcome, award-winning, best-selling author, Jeannie Cisco-Matt.
Started saying I love my life, and then I started taking action to make it so. You see, whatever mess you're currently in, because trust me, we all got messes, don't we? You created that mess. So guess what that means? You can create a whole new life.
Jeannie used her learning patterns to help others become successful as well. She went on to become a high school teacher and help many students find their true path in life. When a fellow teacher asked her to teach what she had learned about helping students, Jeannie designed courses to do just that. Jeannie then decided to take what she is teaching and make it available to a larger audience.
Have you ever had that little gut itch when you're afraid or you're scared or you're nervous? Yeah? Am I just talking to a few people, or have you all had that feeling before?
Jonathan Dawson here with Rev Media, and I am here with Jeannie Cisco-Matt, one of my favorite speakers and authors on bully-proofing you.
I'm Erin. Jeannie's got a lot of charisma and excitement, and she taught a great class and made it lots of fun.
My name is Jason. I just sat through the class. I really enjoyed the stories that she had to share with us. It gave us some insight into her life and how she can help us with ours.
Okay, so I just met Jeannie, and she's absolutely fantastic. And I just finished her class. It was absolutely inspirational. I am so optimistic about how things are going to turn out now. Thank you.
So I share that with you, not because to brag. Okay, well, maybe part of it's bragging. Because you see, in elementary school, I was told I was too stupid, that I would never make it through school. You see, I had a lot of learning disabilities, and therefore it was a struggle. It was an absolute struggle. But now as an adult, looking back, I realized that that was the perfect thing for me, because I made the decision that they didn't decide who I was. I decided who I was. And today we're going to talk more in depth about how to tame that bully between your ears. Because yeah, there's a lot of information about the outside bully. You see it everywhere, and it does happen, not just on the playground anymore. It happens everywhere, in the boardroom, in the office, everywhere, in your own home sometimes. And however, the reason the external bully is so bad is because the internal bully is already saying those things to you. And so if you have big dreams, which I'm sure you do, if you have big dreams, then it's going to take the ability to tame the bully between your ears so that you can make those dreams come true. You see, you have an important mission. You have an important message to share with others, because you're starting a program or you're starting a business. I know that you're in a nonprofit, and guess what? Nonprofits can make money too. It's also about the vision, the mission. It may not be about the money for you, but it's about who you can help and how you can help them. And that is the important part. I want to talk for a moment about vibrations, right? Because you were like, why are we dancing? What's going on here? I don't want to dance. Well, maybe some of you did, right? Maybe some of you are like me and you get that, love that opportunity to get up and move and change your state. And I've said state a few times now. If you look at this graph, this is a vibration scale. Up here, we have, that ultimate. Have you ever been working on something and you're just in the zone, so to speak? You're just flowing with it and it's going so well? That's up here in this upper stages. Then down here, do you ever shame yourself? Do you ever have guilt? What kind of decisions do you make when you're down here? not very good ones. And so if you find yourself in being attacked by the bully, or you find yourself in a low vibrational state or not feeling well, guilt, shame, whatever it is, I invite you to dance. Because when you dance, you change your state, which brings you up into your thinking processes. You see, when emotion is high, energy is low. And so when you have difficulty or you're dealing with a lot of stuff, then that emotion can cloud your ability to think. And so if you can pull off some of that emotion, so to speak, drain that emotion off, then you can think again. And that is very important for you to be able to manage your emotions appropriately. Because you see, we create our habits, and then our habits create us. And so it's a really good idea to think about, what are my habits? What do I do? So I invite you this week to take some time, grab a pen and paper, carry it around with you in your back pocket, and start looking at, what are your habits? What do you do when you wake up? What do you do during an appointment? How do you get to your appointments? What about in the evening? What do you do before you go to bed? When do you spend time with your family? If I asked you, what's your number one priority? I've done this all over the country, all over the world, and people will say many, many times, their first priority is God and then their family. And I ask them, does your schedule show that? Are you scheduling God, scripture time, prayer, connection with your higher power in your schedule? Is it in your schedule anywhere? If he's number one, it needs to be. What about your family? Now, I'm not talking about balance. I'm not talking about, you've got to have 8 hours with your family and 8 hours with work. That's not what I'm talking about. Or if you're the owner of your own business, right? 12, 14, 15 hours at work and a few hours where you can squeeze your family in here and there. Does your schedule reflect your priorities? Now, every Monday, my youngest is 23. And every Monday, we have a standing lunch appointment. We go to lunch because he's important to me. I want to spend time with him. And every Thursday, I go to lunch with my daughter. She's 32. She's important to me, and I want her to know that. So we spend time together. I'm just asking you, what are your habits? I used to only work, and that's not a good thing. You got to have all parts. And so spend some time looking over your schedule and figuring out, what is it that is the most important to you. And you may need to make some changes. The first law of change is realizing that you need to change. The second law of change is repetition. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of 2 trees. Now, these trees are down a walking path, not too far from where I live. And I want to show you this one because there's a lot of damage on this tree. You can see this big chunk of bark sticking out. You can see how it's all torn up. This was right after it was planted. And I remember walking by this tree thinking, oh my goodness, is it going to make it? Because there was so much damage. And now, I don't know if you know or not a lot about trees, but plants get their nutrition from the soil around them through their roots. And the roots bring that nutrition up underneath the bark, between the bark and the skin of the tree, to the rest of the tree. That's how it's fed. And so if the bark is torn off, then that circular system no longer works. And so the tree has to find a new way to get the nutrients all the way out to the leaves and the fruit. See, so many people spend a lot of time trying to change the fruit or the results of their life when they don't ever look at the roots. You can take apples and paste them on an orange tree all you want. It's not going to change the tree. It's still going to be an orange tree. It's still going to grow oranges. You've got to change the roots. So guess what, my friends? If you've got weeds, if you've got doubt, if you've got fear, if you've got insecurities in your mind, pull those weeds out and plant what you want. Now, I took this picture because look, a few weeks after they had planted it, the tree was starting to come back. It was starting to have new growth because it adapted and changed. You can too. And so I want to take just a moment and ask you, what do you wish was different? We're going to take about 30 seconds on this. And I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to write this down. What do you wish was different? If it's a financial goal, add another 0. If it's a vacation time, add another day or 2, even a week. If it's a relationship goal, make it even bigger, brighter. Go ahead and start finishing up. Start finishing up. And stop. Thank you. If we had some time and this was live, I'd have you share now. But it's okay. We can do that in our workshop. But I want you to start thinking about this. What do you wish was different? So often I'll ask people, what do you want? And they're like, well, I don't know. Okay, what do you don't want? They can give me a huge list of the things they don't want. Well, guess what, my friends? That what you think about, you attract. And so if you're thinking about all the things you don't want, guess what you're attracting? More of that. And so if you're thinking about all the negative and all the problems, that's what you get more of, because what I focus on grows. It gets bigger. I get more of it. Not necessarily because there's more of it. It's just that I recognize it and see it more. The reticular activating system is a powerful thing. We call it the RAS, the RAS. What are you focusing on? Because you're going to get more of it. Okay. Now here's a beautiful, this is one of my favorite quotes from the Bible. I have this on my wall. I've memorized it. I remind myself of it frequently. I remind myself that the Lord has plans for me, plans to prosper me, not to harm me, to give me hope in a future. Same is true with you. You've been called to a very important message. You've been called to a very important mission. Sometimes that can be scary. Sometimes that can hold me back. And if I remember the mission and my why, then that will pull me into my future, because you can't push anything. Well, you can, but the bigger it is, the harder it is to push. So if you've got a big dream, you need to let it pull you into the future. Remember that God has plans for you. And remember that discipline is remembering what you want in the moment of temptation. When you want to give up, don't. Remember your why. Spend some time writing out your why and why it's important for you. And don't just do the top surface. I want you to go 7 levels deep. In fact, I have a worksheet that we'll be doing later in the workshop to help you go 7 levels deep with your why, because that surface why could be pretty easy to kick out. Maybe even the 2nd or the 3rd level why. But when you get down deep into the inside, into the core of you, that why will pull you through many obstacles, because you will have them. There will be moments of fear. It happens to us all. And so I remind you of Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go, wherever you go. There are struggle, there is strife, there is fear everywhere. And if you watch the media, it feeds it. And so I invite you to step away from the media. I invite you to put those fear things to the side, because it's difficult enough to carry yourself. You've got to build that courage muscle. You've got to build that faith muscle. I choose faith over fear. And I invite you to do the same thing. You see, hurt people hurt people. And guess what, my friend? Healed people heal people. Let's start the healing. Let's make a difference in your life and the lives of those around you. See, the road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. It's okay. Pull into that parking space for just a moment and then back out and get on the road again, because you have something that everybody else needs. And so I have just a few seconds left, and I want to share a song called My Wish with you because I absolutely love it. And I want you to remember that you're loved, that you're special, and that you're needed in this time and space.